Hello there. Today we're going to do this. This is a Mickey fin. And the Mickey fin is an old streamer pattern, and that is used a lot for sea trout on the Danish coast. But I think that in this version, this could be a very nice salmon flies for low water conditions in particular, but also for sea trout, of course. This is a fairly easy fly, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a Pro tube, a Pro Classic tube here, and this is gonna be my inner tubing. So I'm just gonna take a match here, and basically I'm gonna melt a small column, I think it's called, so that my US tube will have something to latch onto. Then I'm gonna take a 10mm Pro US tube. And because this fly originally have a silver body, then the easiest way to make a silver body is simply to take one of these small US tubes, apply it to the tube like this, and then this melted down section will stop the tube so it does not slide off. Then I'm gonna put this onto my 2-ply needle, and basically we are ready to start tying. So our body is made up already for us. It's nice, easy, and fast. It gives the fly some weight, so it will fish the second it hits the water, and everything is nice and well. Then I'm gonna take a bundle of bucktail. And the first part of this fly is gonna have a wing of yellow bucktail, a nice color for a lot of things, salmon in particular, sea trout as well. And because bucktail is not that uniform in length, I'm just gonna take out these really long ones. Then I'm gonna take the other ones, and I'm gonna try to get them to be more harmonic. The reason why I'm not using a hair stacker for this is I want them to be roughly even in length, but not completely. So this is what I'm going for. I'm gonna tie this down, so it's about 2 times the length of the US tube, something like that. And before I really apply some pressure, the first turn I made on the bucktail here was a fairly loose one, like that. And then I applied some more pressure further along here, because if I applied a lot of pressure on the bucktail in the beginning, then that would have had the effect that the bucktail would really stand up. And that's not the effect I want to do here. So I'm just looking, as you can see, this has been cut quite thoroughly. So I'm just looking for a bundle of bucktail, what is left of on this tail here, in red. Cutting that off, and again I just look at this and see, how does it look? And then I take out the longest one and try to distribute them so I get something that is not completely uniform, but is more uniform than else. Also, there are some that was too short, so I took those out as well. And now I have a bundle that will suit my needs. I tie this on top of the yellow, like so. Again, exactly as I did before, a couple of loose turns, and then I gradually apply more pressure, like that. And you can of course vary the amount of bucktail you're using and the length of these, and you can, if you want the fly even smaller, you can use a 5mm US tube. Just gonna cut off the bucktail here now, because we don't need this. And as I said, this is a variant over a very classic pattern, the Mickey fin. A nice and very well proven pattern that has caught a lot of trouts, and probably some salmon as well over the years. Just gonna cut this as clean off as I can. And just to make sure that my bucktail stays there and I cannot pull all the fibers off, I'm I'm going to take a bit of Sabagap, like so, and apply that to my bucktail here, like that. Just gonna do 1 or 2 turns of tying thread more, just to get that that glue nice and down into the materials, like so. Then, in order to give this a more complete and a better look, I'm gonna take a small hackle. And you can use loose Metz hackles, which are the ones, the hackles that I've included in this material kit, because as always I have a full material kit available for tying this fly. All you need to tie this fly at flytying.eu. But as I always say, if you really want to have the best option and the best selection, then a cape or a saddle. This is a hen saddle, a whiting hen saddle, a Feathermaster hen saddle. If you want to have the best selection of feathers and the best quality of feathers, it is better to buy it fell off. Annoying. Just gonna tie this down again. I tied it in the tip, and as I said, if you want to have the best quality, you should get a full cape or a full saddle, because it is more expensive, but in the long run this will be the cheaper option, because you will get more quality hackles than you get for the relatively cheap price of a bag. But if you intend not to tie that many flies, then the Metz bags are a decent option as well. And as you can see, this looks a bit messy and a bit out of sorts, but that's okay, because we're gonna apply a flam and fish mask to this fly in the end, to give it that special look and to make it easy for me to attach an eye to this. So it's gonna get that head shape. You could do that as well with UV glue, but the fish skull is a very nice and fast option, and because we have the weight with the US tube, then it's gonna be a good option as well. So I made a whip finish. Gonna cut that off, and then we're off to take the fish mask, Flyman fish mask. And I take one of these in the size 3mm. The 3mm is the smallest they produce, and this is the correct size for a fly of this size, I think. Like that. I simply just push it over push this over the hackle, and as you can see now, I have this small head here. The fly is nicely tapered and has the right proportions. Then I'm gonna turn it this way to add a drop of Sabagap into. There is a small groove here that is ideally suited for a 3mm eye. So I'm gonna add some super glue there, and then I'm gonna add a 3mm eye into the dentation, into the groove. Just sticking it in place, and there you have it. A small, nice looking tube fly, greatly suited for both sea trout and also salmon. I think I'm gonna take this pattern with me to the Kola Peninsula this summer to fish for salmon. I really am happy with the design and the look of this. Just gonna add an eye to the other side as well. And then the finishing touch is going to be cutting off the tube, like so. Then I take out the tube here, cut this off, so I have about 1 millimeter or so of tube left over. Then I take another match or a lighter, and I simply just melt the tube down, all the way down to the fish skull, like so. put it into the vise again to make sure there's a hole through, and this here will make sure that that the head will stay in place. So basically a simple small variant over the color scheme of the Mickey fin. Well, one other thing, if you're not familiar with tube flies, there is a lot of different ways you can actually use these. The main thing I do is I take my hook, in this case a triple hook, then I tie I put the line through the tube, then I put it through one of these. This is a swing tube, and then I tie on the hook. So basically, I'm gonna do it. The swing tube is something that I put on here to ensure that the hook is nice and secure, and then this also makes sure that the hook is hanging loose, which give the best effect in the water. So when at the end of the day, when you're ready to fish, this is what it will look like, and this has a very high hook percentage. So a small tube fly that really will wriggle and swim nice in the current. Yeah, well, basically that's it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Of course, remember to subscribe and swing by my webshop, flytying.eu.